Hello, hello. Welcome back to Everything and the Gym. My name is Shelby, and it might look a little different today because we are doing a Zoom meeting. What is your name?
My name is also Shelby.
Okay, so I have to explain how I found you.
Okay.
So I'm on TikTok and I'm like scrolling, and of course, like I'm on a gym algorithm,
Right.
and you like came by, and I was like, oh, I was like, that workout was cool, or I can't remember what you were doing. And then I was like, I'm gonna like it. And then I looked at your name and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like,
It's
that's a
Shelby.
Shelby. And so I was like, okay, I have to follow her now. And the fact that it's like IE, because
Yes.
mine's
Yeah.
I.
Yes.
And then you started like liking my stuff too. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I did the same. I was like, Shelby. Like, and it's honestly, it's really not a common name. Like, there's really not a lot out there. So, like, whenever I meet someone and their name is Shelby, I'm like, we have to be friends. Like, that
Yeah.
has to be. And I don't know if you know this, but Shelby used to be a like man's name for the longest.
Yes. Like in the baby books of names,
Yes.
it's in the boy side. Yeah.
It's a man's name. And then there was a year in like the 90s where it was the number one most golden retriever name.
Oh,
So I don't know. It was like a very popular dog name. And then all of a sudden, like it's just like girls, just a girl name now. Cause I don't know a single guy named
I
Shelby.
don't either. I don't either. That's crazy.
I know, right?
I ever since you started like liking like through my stuff, and then I followed you through the podcast page, and then you started like interacting with that one, and I have a social media manager, and I would tell her, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have her on. And she was like, okay. um but here we are, and I'm
Yeah.
excited to branch out because
We've been following each other for like a while now, like at
yeah,
least this year, like definitely.
yeah, yeah, it's nice to know you're real.
I know, right? I know. You never know. You're like, I feel like everyone, like, you can watch people through social media, but like, you really just, you're like, who are they really? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It's nice to like meet people and like actually talk to them.
Yeah, my thing was like, I don't know if I will be in Baltimore like years from now, maybe, but that like in the next 6 months, no. So
No, I totally get that.
yeah,
That's why Zoom's perfect. We were able to
yeah,
do it.
the technology, it's
Yeah.
wild. All right, so what do you do?
Yeah. We're speaking like career wise.
Yes, because I've
Okay.
asked you this question and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes, honestly, I don't like when I say what I do, people are like, "What is that?" But I'm a geotechnical engineer. So, it's like a branch of civil engineering that works with earth materials. So, like I test like the foundation that's being built so that like the bridges that we drive on and like buildings and stuff are safe and pass regulation and can continue to be built. So, that's what I do.
how do you get into that?
Yeah, wow, yeah. I was in school forever just because I did not know what I wanted to do. Like I used to just want to be Jane Goodall and like go play with monkeys. That was like my biggest thing. So my first degree is in biology.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. So then I went into like environmental studies, a little bit more that route, towards the end. And so I ended up doing another degree doing that. And then my father, my stepdad, is a civil engineer. So he's the one who introduced me into like geo, more earth of engineering, because it was a pretty stable job. So I was like, and that's how I got into it. And
Oh,
that's why I'm here in Baltimore, because I'm from Florida. So
okay. So let me ask you this because it might blow my mind if we're the same age. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, I'm 28, about to be
Okay,
29.
yeah, yeah. Just a little older, but it's
Yeah,
close.
yeah, it's close enough. So how long were you in college for that kind of like, I know you said you didn't know what you wanted to do. How much were you spending in college time wise?
Yeah, I was there for 8 years. So I went to college at Appalachian State in North Carolina. So I lived in North Carolina for 9 years. School was like all I knew. It was my comfort zone. Like I did
Yeah.
not want to go into the real world. It freaked me out.
Hmm.
And so I just kept going back and being like, I'll just go, and so my first, sorry, I'm all
You're
over the
good?
place.
No, you're good.
My first 2 years, I had a volleyball scholarship, so they were paid for.
Hmm.
Um, and then so I wasn't like too worried about going back with student debt because I was like, oh, I already like am kind of slate free, so I just will be where everyone else is. So that's the reasoning also in my mind why I was like, I'll just go back. Why not? But yeah, 8 years.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Were you okay? So were you active before college, like sports or lifting?
Yeah, I honestly, I'm never until this past year, May, like not this May, but last year, 2023 May, did I start lifting weights. I really never in my life ever did it. But
Uh-huh.
I was always very into sports. I was a flyweight competitive cheerleader until I got into high school. And then in high school, I found the love for volleyball. And it was kind of like just that because I really wanted the scholarship. And then I did that in college for 4 years. And um, towards the end, because like you can only play 4 years and I was in school for 8. So there was like 4 years where I really like fell off. Like it was bad. It was hard on my mental health because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's part of like who I am. Then I'm sitting here, I'm like making excuses basically because I was like, I don't have the time. I've got this, I got that. And basically, it wasn't until I graduated, I was finally like, okay, like I can't, I'm old now. Like I cannot go back to school anymore. I need to go do something. And I, again, was so scared. So I moved back home with my parents when I was 28. And oh man, like that was like the ultimate low. For me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I was just like so out of shape. I was my heaviest. Um, and it was just so uncomfortable for me. I was also like just in a whole new world because I went from being in school, that's all I know, to all of a sudden, like, how do I navigate this new world of like finding a job? And I also, a very big thing is my like mental health. And I talk about that on my social like a lot.
Yeah.
But I've struggled with bipolar basically my whole life, and it's taken a big toll on things. So that was, I think, the biggest spark for me was when I was living at home with my parents, and I was so out of shape, and it took a bad effect even more so on my mental health. And one day, I genuinely, it was right after my 29th birthday in May, and I just was like, I can't, like, I cannot be where I am right now at 30 years old. I will be so unhappy. Like, I need to make changes. And I just like, I started running. I got into this big like running thing. I was signing up for marathons. I was just running around everywhere. And um, that's when I started doing interviews, got to move here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I basically, that's how I got into fitness to begin with, was just running. I actually was like fairly thin when I did move here like in the fall, but then I was like, I want to like lift weights. And I started, social media when you're like getting into that. Then all of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden I'm like, wait, like this is really cool. Like these girls look great. And
Yeah.
so that's what got me into the gym in October. I signed up for a gym membership. And yeah, I've been
Of
lifting.
20? Wait, not of 23.
Yeah, yes.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean like if you look down past, like I was like thin, but I always had a muscular somewhat built
Uh-huh.
because of like, well, one, genetics, and
Yeah.
two, just from like my past and whatnot. Even though I gained weight, like the muscle was like still under
Yeah.
there. But so that's why when people are like how are you, like, did you in that amount of time? And that's because it's like it wasn't just that time, like it was my whole life. I've been, yeah. So
You look so confident in your videos.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Like,
It's fake. No, no, I mean fake it till you make it, right? I think we all struggle with like body image, and it is uncomfortable, especially like in the beginning, posting yourself online.
mhm.
I remember I like look back and I sometimes I think I'm like, should I delete this? But no, that's part of my journey. That's who I was. Like I started there. And it's super cringy, but whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's definitely weird putting yourself out there and like, just gotta, I think if you like exude confidence, then like people will, it's just like, I don't know, it looks good. Confidence looks good on everyone.
It looks good. And then eventually after you do it, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. I have been posting like my fitness stuff for 2 years, maybe three, but like it's to like the very beginning stages, like you were saying, cringy. Even
Right.
like podcasts, like my podcast, we've only had it since October. And I look back on season one and I'm like, what?
But
Well,
that's us judging our own selves because like I've seen your videos,
yeah,
I've watched like listened to your podcast, and I don't think that
yeah,
so like it's we're always gonna be our toughest critic. So
yeah, yeah. Um, I still can't believe that you've only been lifting that long.
yeah, I honestly like I got a coach like right in the beginning. He's not necessarily like I'm not doing the coaching
Yeah.
anymore. I do like private like lessons with him, but
Hmm.
he was a big help. And I was in the gym this past, October, literally like with YouTube, looking up how to do workouts. Like I don't even know the names of these workouts. And then people would
Yeah.
come up and be like, hey, like, like how do you do that? I'm like, girl, I have no idea. Like I was like, this is the YouTube channel I'm watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't know. You got to start somewhere.
Yes. So how do you feel mentally now that you're back in the gym or
Yeah,
like in a gym?
absolutely. I think it's tremendous for my mental health just to like get out there and do any like it's a form of like, dopamine, serotonin. So it has definitely helped. I just turned 30. As you know, I
Yeah.
went to Portugal this past
Oh
May and
my gosh.
celebrated.
It looked
So,
amazing.
and that was the big thing. Like, my mom and I wanted to do that because I was just such in a bad place a year from that. Like I was just so, and I feel like I've lived 5 lives in just one year. Like, just going from being living at home with my parents at 28, and having no job, no money, being just you know, the heaviest I've ever been into like now. And I made that my goal. That from the very beginning, I was like hell bent on it. I was like, I will not be in this spot when I turn 30. And
Mhm.
so that was our big celebration.
It looked amazing. How long were you there?
Like 10 days. It was
Oh
a
my gosh.
hiking like thing because I enjoy hiking, camping. My mom was like, I don't know about the hiking part. So you can see we did a lot of spa days.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. It was honestly life changing. So
Ah, what a dream. Okay. So why Baltimore?
oh, I honestly would not choose it. I mean, when I was told like this is where I was going for my job, I had 2 weeks to like move here. And I didn't really know anything about Baltimore. And everyone was like, it's scary. Like, there's
Yeah.
like crazy danger. And they're like, not wrong. So I honestly, it's not that bad the way people were saying it, but for who I am, like spiritually, it's just not for me.
Uh-huh.
Um, I would consider myself a little more like crunchy or like country and crunchy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Southern. So I came here and I was just like wanting to talk to everyone that, polite Southern hospitality. And people looked at me like I was crazy. They were like, like you don't talk to people around, so that took some time to get used to, I think, and I'm very sensitive. Like that's a big thing for me. I'm a crier. I think I go every day where I cry. And yeah, it made it worse. So I would actually not choose to live here if it was up to me, just job wise. But I travel for my job. So I don't
Mhm.
really even spend that much time here because I'm constantly in some other state. So
Mhm. Okay, so are you staying in that area? Like, does your job like, are you there like locked in?
I know it's okay. So again, this is my first job. So I mean, like within my career.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely trying to stay for a little bit just to build up my resume. But now I'm in this whole mindset where I do want to settle down. I want to have kids. I want to get married. I want to do that whole thing. And I do not want to do it here. So looking for that and trying to even move on that is like on hold because I don't want to settle here. Um, my plan honestly is to just keep doing at the job I'm at and building my resume up just as much as I can. The
Mhm.
company's great, and so and they're like very understanding and they know that I want to, go somewhere. So if they don't grow and branch out to like more west or like even Midwest closer, then I probably will myself transfer uh because I think I'll be happier. Truthfully. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I've never really lived out that way, but um I have traveled enough to think that that's where I think I'd be happiest.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That's my plan.
Do you, I don't know where I'm going with this. Let me gather my train of thought.
What about you? Are you locked
Oh,
in?
so my husband, I have been with my husband since we were 16.
Okay. That is
And
so cute. Why did I not
yes,
know that?
well, I actually, not a whole lot of people know this. We were actually boyfriend and girlfriend in kindergarten.
Shut up. That's
Yeah.
adorable. Oh,
Yes.
that's like the love story of love
Yeah.
stories.
We like, it's the whole like we were together as like friends, like younger age. He moved
Mhm.
away junior high. We played against him in basketball, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's him!" And he wanted absolutely nothing to do with me. He thought I was weird and whatnot. And then I ended up graduating high school early, and social media was like just now coming out. And I looked him up, and there he was. And ever since then, we've been together.
Love that.
Yeah, it's wild to think about.
Such
But
a beautiful story.
he is oil filled.
Okay.
He works in the oil field.
Hard. So he's gone for a while.
Um, so he started out as like an electrician in the oil field.
Okay.
And so he just worked pipeline side,
Oh,
just
okay.
moving the oil. And then he got moved into the control room. And so he watches the computer screens to see
Well, that's nice
like
then.
flow. And currently he works 1 week on, 1 week off.
Okay.
And so like he just took a week, he took 1 week off. And so we get 3 weeks of
At
him.
least you know he's like in a safer position that he was
Yes.
before. So, I mean, that's a risky job. So,
Yeah.
and
Yes. Yes. He has done his labor, but we're here for a while. There's a chance that we could get moved to like the Dallas, Irving area, one of the bigger cities here in Texas. But that's years from now. So locked in, growing. Just gonna grow here. We live in a small town. San Angelo is not small, but also not huge.
right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hear nothing but great things about Texas. It's on my top 5 list of places to move. So you never know. Might
Hey,
be someday. Maybe my
I
cowboys down there.
truthfully though, you can say you're moving to Texas and we will probably still have an entire day's trip of like
Right.
driving.
Texas is massive. So
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so we're here. We're Texas. I don't know if an opportunity came down the line of like taking us somewhere else, we'd be open to it, I think. But
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
yeah,
amazing though.
yeah. I my daughter goes to a good school. I teach group fit, so I teach classes and whatnot. And then
Okay.
for season 3, we have sponsors, and one of them is a gym. And so I'm, yeah, holding on to them for
Yeah.
dear
I love
life as long as I
that.
can.
I'm curious though, what got you into the gym?
Okay, so I used to do gymnastics growing up.
Okay, that's awesome. You know me,
Yeah,
calisthenics, love it.
I I can't hold a handstand to save my life anymore.
We're old.
Yes, I for a long time when I first started like into like a gym again, I was doing handstands and my elbows like weeks after doing them, I'd be like, oh my
Oh yeah.
God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But my husband and I, so I had like a very traumatic, I had my daughter, and then just there's so much trauma attached to after labor, and then personal family issues, like my mom passed away, and just a lot of trauma. And so with that came weight gain, and me and my husband both had gained weight. We were the heaviest we had ever been. And COVID had happened.
Ooh.
And we moved into an apartment, and we have an apartment gym. And my husband said, you know what? I'm going to start working out. And I was like, I don't want to be in a gym. I don't want to go to a gym. Like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
And so I started doing Beachbody here at home in the living room. And I ended up dropping like 30 or 40 pounds in my living room. And we had a gym that opened up down the street. And he said, I'm going to sign up for this. And I was like, I don't want to. I'll just stay at home. And it was, I think it was like a week before they opened. He was like, are you sure? And I was like, you know what? I'll sign up. And if I don't like it, I'll cancel.
The gym
And
anxiety is real though, trying to go there, especially in the beginning. It feels
yeah,
so judgmental, but no one cares. But
nobody cares.
yeah, they don't. Everyone's
Yeah.
just into their own thing. So
Yeah. So yeah, I started my lifting journey, had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a lot of friends like growing up, and I wasn't super social. And so I looked at it as an opportunity to meet new people. So
yeah.
going in and just, I don't know, talking to people, asking questions. And sure enough, I figured out exercises I like to do.
Yeah.
And
Gym friends are the best friends, literally. Like
yes.
that was kind of my mentality moving here. I was like, I do have a really nice gym at my place, but I was like, I want to meet people. I want to like get to know people. And now all of my very close friends are people I met at the gym. Like it's a whole community. So
Yes.
yeah.
That's almost every single person I talk to now. It comes out of the gym or they're involved in fitness and somehow.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have friends that are into the same thing that you're into, especially
Yeah.
when you're like a like a just different part or period in your life, whether you're a new mom or you're out of college, like, or you just getting a new career, you're in that new chapter. So you might have left behind people that might not be where you're at. So you want to meet people that are into the same thing that you're into. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy though, because you can ask pretty much anybody in a gym community, hey, how do you XYZ, or what do you eat? How much protein are you eating? And
yes.
people are gonna tell you.
Oh yeah. Like I think honestly, everyone, because I mean, that was how I felt. I was scared. I was like, these people are going to judge me. They're all probably mean. They're probably into themselves and all this stuff. But that's completely the opposite.
Mhm.
Like, I work out at Crunch, which is, I call it where you go to work out with dads. Like it's
Oh
very
yeah.
commercial and like it's but everyone is so nice there. Like, just
Yeah.
it's mind blowing, honestly.
So I have to ask you this question because you're not here, and I imagine Baltimore has a lot of gyms.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you pick Crunch?
Yeah. I actually, so there's a 24-hour fitness like a block away from me. I could have just walked,
Mhm.
but it's I live more in like the city area. So it was very just gross. I went and toured it and the bathrooms were it was I couldn't do it. So I was just like, okay, I'll just drive. So I was really looking at like what's kind of closest to me but
Mhm.
like also not in the city that I could drive 10 minutes like to a suburban kind of area. So that's why I chose Crunch. I found it. I didn't even really know the area that well, so I didn't really know where to look, and it was like the second place I looked at, and I was like, yeah, this is good. Like I'm fine. That's kind of how I live my life though. I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
just go with this. But I feel like it was meant to be because I don't even know, like I'd be so sad if I didn't meet the people that I've met so far there, you know?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's why I chose that. I also there's a very popular bodybuilder gym here called Exile. And
Oh,
yeah, it's like basically all the elite bodybuilders go there. I'm not a bodybuilder. I commend anyone that tries it because that food is crazy. Like trying to eat so I
yeah.
could
Yeah.
but I have some friends that are into that, and so I went with them a couple times and I've met people there. They're all nice too. But it was very intimidating. So I knew I was like, this isn't where I want to be. Like this is I want to
Yeah.
feel comfortable. Um even though it's not like they made me feel uncomfortable at all. I just was like, this is I can't compete with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I chose Crunch out of all of the places.
I actually work out at a Crunch as
Do you
well.
really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the gym that was built like just right down the street from us. But
Good.
I have a different gym that is sponsoring us. So now I'm like bouncing between the two.
Between. I think it's
But
nice to go to multiple.
yeah. Yeah. Is your Crunch, does it get crowded?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
Mondays and Tuesdays, just like especially if you're working a 9 to 5 and you go there, right after work, which most people, do,
Yeah.
especially at crunch. Um, yeah, Mondays and Tuesdays are insane. I already just know going in that not only are all the machines going to be taken, but I'm going to know a bunch of people and they're going to, everyone talks and chit chats. I can't be locked in.
Yeah.
Um, so sometimes I'll make sure those are my maybe off day, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and as a content creator, you want to, videotape some stuff. So I want to be respectful of everyone's space for one. And two, I
Mhm.
don't want to worry about having people that I don't know in the background and offending them in any way. So I will not record anything if it's busy. So I make like Friday, Saturday, Sundays my recording days. Um, so yeah, that's just I don't know. I can't do the busyness. This is
It's
yours?
so it depends on the time of year. Um,
Okay.
our crunch is what I've been told. They might. So I work at Crunch. That's where I teach group fit classes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you're cycling, right? As
yes,
well.
yes,
Okay, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And so like you're in there for the monthly meetings, but our crunch and like our branch is one of the lowest producing in the company
Mm.
because San Angelo is such a small town.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Compared to like Dallas and San Antonio and like the bigger cities here. Like so Crunch started in New York. I don't
Did
know.
it really?
Yeah, it started in New York. Yeah. And so I imagine like those locations are probably like yours is
Insane.
busy.
Oh, yeah.
But like
When it's in the
ours,
city, there's like, it's like, why? There's actually one in the city, like more
yeah,
close into the city. That's probably, it's probably the same amount of driving. But I was like, well, I'm not going to go to that one.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah. So it really depends on the time of year. So like it just let out for summer. So all the college kids are like
Oh, I
coming
didn't
to
think
the
that.
gym, and then you've got moms that can only come during a certain time frame because of childcare, and
Great.
so it can get congested. And then I've heard like the after work shift is your college kids, your high school kids, your uh
Everyone
fr-
goes.
yeah, everybody is there. I don't go in the evening
Insane.
because I've just been told that it's like
Insane. It's
yeah,
insane. It's like I don't always mind it. If I'm just like if I know I'm not in the mood, I'm like just don't go. I mean, I'll go to a different one. Like,
yeah.
But because sometimes you just want to lock in. Sometimes you've had a bad day and you don't want to have
Yeah.
to like play nice. Like you just want
Yeah.
to just do your workout. I don't know. That's something like I feel like I struggle with because I try to be very friendly and happy. So it's like if I'm not in the mood, like I can't be like, you know.
Uh-huh. So what is your bad day workout What we all have one. What is the like I
Yeah.
have rage workout?
Honestly, I like recently went through a breakup and I've had like multiple back-to-back rage workouts where I just put on music that really gets me in my feelings and I just like get it done. A bad workout for me, I'd consider a bad workout for me when I'm like just not in the mood and like I really should be and it's hard to force yourself to be. Like I'm just like, what? Sometimes I just I used to be really hard on myself about it. And now I'm like, at least I'm there. Like, at least I'm
Yeah.
doing something, even if I'll, practice some calisthenics, something that's more fun
Hmm.
than doing the weightlifting.
Yeah.
I think people get too hard on themselves about sticking to a specific routine. And if they miss it, like everything's, but I don't know, let yourself
Yeah.
live a little.
Yeah. Do you have a specific workout that you're like, oh my gosh, I love this kind of workout?
I always loved arms. Like I just love doing arms, specifically like anything with biceps. I'm shoulder dominant, but like I'm trying to get these biceps to grow and I love just like, it feels manly.
It does.
And I love it. Like I love that like female mask. I don't know. I'm like, yeah, like I also just don't like legs, even though I think I would say that my legs are bigger than my upper body. I hate doing it. It's so miserable. I
Uh-huh.
think it's just the amount of mental you have to put into a leg day. And that's where it stops me because I'm like, I really got to get in the zone for this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I would say biceps for sure.
I You're one of the first people to say that. I love a good
Really?
bicep day. And most people it's like, oh, I love leg day or oh,
Ugh.
I love back day. Yeah.
I have a hard time engaging my back, like muscle, like mind to muscle. I
Hmm.
think it's because I can't see it or like touch it, but I have the like a really hard time trying to like my shoulders always take over. And so
Yeah.
I just don't like back day for that reason because I'm get frustrated. I'm like, can it do anything? Like so biceps all the way.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Shelby's bicep day.
In when we're done with all this, I do like boomerang pictures for each episode and we should do
Yes.
like a
Okay,
bicep.
I'll get
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
I'll take my camouflage hoodie off.
Okay. I'm gonna break us to a commercial break and yeah. All right, you guys, we are going to hear a word from our sponsors and we'll be back soon.
Hey y'all, I'm Stephen Hambright.
And I'm Ashley Hambright.
And we're the Hambright Team Realtors with Coldwell Banker Legacy.
Welcome home. We know you have a lot of choices when it comes to selecting a realtor, so we want to tell you a little bit about us and why the Hambright team would be the perfect fit to help you buy or sell your next home.
First of all, we're a lot of fun.
Stephen, nobody cares about that.
Well, it doesn't hurt.
But really, it's important to have a realtor that's knowledgeable about market conditions in your area, available inventory that meets your needs, and of course, having an agent that's experienced in guiding you through the entire process of buying and selling a home from start to finish.
Coldwell Banker Legacy is a great company with an incredible history and reputation. We are continuously provided with so much support, whether that is professional development or better ways we can assist our clients in reaching their goals.
And we know buying a home is a huge moment in people's lives, so being chosen to be part of that journey is such an honor, especially in San Angelo. We strive to do whatever it takes to help our clients find the perfect home.
As realtors, our clients are the reason for everything we do. Listening to a client's needs and requests, being available for questions, and making sure they're treated the same way we would like to treat our friends and family are among the top priorities for us.
We're parents, we work full-time, we volunteer in the community, we understand crazy lives, so we know life can be messy.
But buying or selling a house doesn't have to be. Call the Hambright Team.
And we are back. All right. So I am the sticker girl. I hand out stickers
yes.
all the time,
Yes.
and I need you to send me your address because you posted a reel the other day about you eating donuts. And I had just gotten a pack of stickers like that same day. And I saw this one and I have to send it to you. I don't know if you can.
I can see. Let's see.
It says,
It's perfect.
yeah, it
Love
says Lipton Donuts.
I love it. I have a pastry obsession. I don't know what it is. I love carbs. Oh, I'm just that's perfect.
Yeah. What is your favorite donut?
Oh man, French crullers. 100%. I didn't even have to really think. For a second I did because they used to not make them anymore and I was very depressed about that.
What are they?
They're like they look like croissants almost. They're the twisted donuts.
Oh.
At Dunkin' Donuts. They're different looking than the rest. They're like twisty. Yeah, those are French crullers. They have the consistency of a croissant. And so I love that fluffiness. I love croissants too. That's probably my favorite pastry. I actually have I'll send you a picture later, but it's like a croissant stuffed animal that my friend got me and it just sits in my car. Its name is Freddie. It goes everywhere with me. It's my croissant. So this is perfect. What's your favorite donut? I need to know.
Okay. So I have a crazy obsession with coconut. I love anything coconut. So like coconut candy, coconut coffee. I wish they made a coconut flavored protein. Like,
wait, stop. They have there's a coconut. Hold on.
Okay.
There's this thing. Have you seen these?
Oh my gosh, yes, I have.
Okay.
But here's the thing. That one tastes like artificial almost. Like it's an artificial coconut flavor.
Yeah.
It's still like
totally agree. But it's coconut.
It is coconut. But if they made like a coconut powder.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Would be good. That'd
yeah.
Be so good. So the coconut, the one, the donut with all
the coconut on top. That is my favorite.
So amazing. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you do with an extra 60 minutes in your day? Do you go for a walk? Do you pick up the weights? Maybe you even help a friend. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. Here at Fitness 1440, we believe in making every minute count. Spend some of those minutes here with us on our turf zone, in our free weights area, the cold plunge, the sauna, and personalized small group fit classes because we are open 24/7. Fitness 1440 is family owned, which means you are giving back to the San Angelo community when you spend time with us. Our members are like family here, and we take pride in our cleanliness. Use code 1445 to receive your first month free and join the Fitness 1440 community today. That's 1440 FIBES. And don't forget to make every minute count.
Welcome to Hera Health, an innovative women's health and aesthetic clinic created, well, by women. Hera Health specializes in hormonotherapy, aesthetics, PCOS, peri and menopause phases, postpartum, and weight loss. Now maybe you're questioning, why do I need to visit Hera? If you are exhausted, maybe you have low libido, you have some stubborn weight to lose, maybe you have painful periods, or you just don't feel like yourself, or maybe you're looking for a confidence boost. Hera Health should be your go-to place. When you enter those doors, you are greeted by like-minded women who understand your concerns and fears. Hera Health also offers aesthetic care like dermal filler, microneedling, medical-grade skincare products, and so much more. They also offer a wellness program to help with your workouts and nutrition. You can book your appointment online at herahealthpllc.com or give them a call at 325-238-7286. Healthcare for women by women.
All right. I will bring us in and just be like technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we are back. You know, with every good thing, there is learning, and we are learning technical difficulties. So now we're back. Oh, okay. So let's hop into a gym bag segment. So let's pull your gym bag out.
Here she is.
All right. And why is this your gym bag?
So this is my gym bag. I was carrying around a Victoria's Secret like duffel bag for the longest time because I just didn't have a gym bag. So I was like, oh, this kind of looks like it. And then I went through this phase where I was like, I'm going to do everything brown and tan colors and just like have this like warm neutral thing going. So I went on Temu and got this little bag, which is already falling apart. You can see it's just ripping to shreds, but I kind of toss it around everywhere when I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
So that's fine. It's doing its thing. So yeah.
Okay. So what is your favorite thing in your gym bag?
Yes. Let's see. My favorite thing are my headphones.
And why?
Because I cannot handle being left alone with my thoughts, especially at the gym, because there's so much like I'm thinking about mostly to get myself through it. So at least the music can like guide me into getting a good workout going. But if they die, I'm going home. Like I'm just not going to the gym.
I'm surprised you don't have 2 pairs of headphones.
Oh, I know. I need to. I've been considering getting, because I run still so much, the ones that they go kind of on the outside of your ear so you can still hear. And I think that'd be good for like traffic oncoming. But I'm definitely consider getting a second pair just in case as well.
Yeah. All right. So do you have snacks in your gym bag?
Not in my bag, but I do have a locker at Crunch that I actually keep all of my stuff in. I just leave it there forever. And it's locked up. So I keep Rice Krispie treats and protein bars and stuff like that. I just like having that all stocked in there. I don't want to carry it around, but I also am there so much. And in case someone needs something, like I can be like, I got it in my locker, like, you know, and run and grab it. But so not with me, but I do keep some on deck. And if I eat it, then I'll replace it. I'll replenish that.
So what else do you have in your gym bag?
Yes, not much. Simple girly. So I've got my little tripod thing. It's one of those that like extend because I wanted it to fit. I've got my workout routine on paper. I don't know why, but I just like being able to hold stuff, and I make notes and like write on it and like weights. I could probably do that on my phone, but I'm like an old lady at heart and I need to hold it. So I have that, and I have my straps.
I like that they're pink.
Yes, I actually have a whole pink set. Like everything that I own is pink from Upper, and I have this.
Oh, I love that too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not really a color person, but for some reason I was like, it needs to stand out. It's so cute.
Yes, I love it.
But that's all I've got.
I do have a random question.
Okay.
Do you have a penny in your gym bag?
A penny?
A penny.
Like money?
Yeah.
Is that for like luck?
Okay, so there used to be a game show way back whenever
I gotta look.
I can't remember his name, but he would ask people if they have something random out of their bag.
Shut up. I don't have a pen. Wait, do I?
And so a penny is just one of those questions where nobody has had one yet, and I'm waiting for the person that has a penny.
I have 2 quarters.
Oh, so close.
No penny. But there's some change in there. I don't know why. There's also a bunch of napkins, the ones that you wipe stuff down. I just throw it in my
Yeah.
That is so funny. I could see though, like why people would have that, because you don't clean out your gym bag ever. Like you don't really think
Yeah.
about doing it. So, just random stuff gets left in
You
there,
buy
little wrappers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You buy something, throw it in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I so season 3 is the first season that we started the gym bag segment.
I love it.
Because I have all kinds of stuff in my gym bag. Thousands of stickers and just random stuff. And whenever I was looking through my bag to do the questions for this, I was like, ooh, a penny. We'll just see.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, I absolutely love that though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what is your nutrition like?
Oh, okay, yeah. So when I had my coach, when we were doing an actual meal plan, I stuck to it. And it was great because honestly, I probably looked the best when I was actually doing that. And it was very specific to 180 grams of protein a day, same breakfast, literal ground chicken and rice twice a day, and then veggies and flank steak at night. Like it was so plain Jane, and I did it for 4 months. It was great for my skin and like my gut health, but I just after doing it for so long, I went off the deep end. I've binge eating problems. To me, food can create dopamine, which is something I lack a lot of because of my bipolar. So I will lean on food and sweet treats and stuff to do that. And so I went on this binge right after I was on that. And that was hard. I just was like, honestly, it kind of just made me like bulk up a little bit because I was still eating kind of the right stuff. I was just eating like a lot of it, and also like out at restaurants, which is the sodium's crazy. My skin was getting really bad, and like bloating, gut health, not great. So I talked to my coach. I said, I can't do this like strict routine. I need to intuitively eat, but like making sure that I'm still staying within reason. So I went off of the diet, the strict plan, and since then I've been doing intuitive eating, and it works for me. As a female, we have hormone cycles, so sometimes I'm just not hungry. Like I really could not eat, and so I'll just try my best to. And then sometimes I'm starving, like actually starving. And I don't think a lot, like girls all get it. We get it. It's just,
Yeah.
it's awful. You're like, what is wrong with me? And it messes with your head too, like, cause you're in this weird cycle. So intuitively eating helps me not be so, I guess, hard on myself when I'm not sticking to it. But whenever I think I'm beating off the path, I will go back to my main plan and try and like stick to those basics to get me back to where I like need to be. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm eating. But I do try to stick to 180 grams of protein because I am almost like 190. So I need a good bit of protein to maintain.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we all go through phases like that where it's like you follow a very strict, like cutthroat routine. I've done it multiple times.
Yes.
And like the amazings are amazing when you can actually stick to it. But like you said, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I can't do this. Like you said earlier, I could never be a bodybuilder because I can't stick to that kind of situation for months on end. Yeah.
Big commend to them, honestly. And they're eating less and less as it comes to their show. And I'm like, I don't even like eating as much as I can of that, unless like starving on it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I can't.
I recently interviewed, it's funny because I ask people this all the time. And so like one of the people that I interviewed, he said he eats a pound of meat for lunch every single day. 1 pound of meat. I cannot fathom like cooking that and being like a whole chicken, sweet. Like
I would honestly like I'd get the meat sweats. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
yeah. There's like, and then I've had somebody else who he's like this huge, big, manly man, and he eats less calories than I do because he's currently on a show, and he's at like 1,500 calories now, and by showtime it's like 1,200.
It's insane. It's insanity. I think the whole concept, the numbers game is great. That was like the craziest concept to me when I started this like health journey was like, oh, okay, it's just math. I could lose weight if I do this much and it everyone can do it. It's just annoying to do
Yeah.
and it sucks to have to sit there and count and it takes a lot of time. But it's like science. I don't know. As a nerd, like a science geek, I was just like really like, wow, like this is crazy. But yeah, I don't know. The whole calories and that's just it's insane to me.
Yeah. Speaking of math, do you for me, if I go put multiple plates on, like let's say we're doing leg press, are you good at math, or are you like, I did a 45 and a 45 and a 45?
Am I like
Yes. Because I'm counting on my hands.
I have it like memorized. So like I know if I just add this plate, like I know I'm at this. So like I know like that I guess I just have it memorized. So I don't really think about it anymore, I think. But in the beginning, when I was starting, I was like, wait, these things have weight to it. I would have to ask people, I'd be like, how much does that weigh like by itself? You know? And that's why I have it written down on paper because I can just look at it if I forget.
Yeah.
So I'm not like sitting there like staring at the machine, like doing this. No.
Isn't it awesome though when you don't realize, like I wish I could go back to be a beginner sometimes, because like doing leg press, you don't realize that the sleigh is weighted, and then you finally ask somebody and you're like, oh, I'm pressing over 150 pounds.
I think that was for me, it was the hack squat.
You're good.
Hack squat was how I felt with that. Oh goodness, it says internet unstable, so I hope we're okay. The hack squat for me was that for me because I honestly was like putting weights on them and I was like, why can't I do this? It's insane. Like those are only 50 pounds. Why can't I do that? And I didn't realize it's because that's weighted.
Yeah.
Sitting there struggling, like why? But now it makes sense now.
Yeah.
But it's I guess the learning process. So.
Yeah. Hack squat is hard, like in itself.
Who made that? I don't. Again, leg day. Just I want to ban it for life.
Yeah. All right. I have another question.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've mentioned bipolar. How were you diagnosed with bipolar?
Yeah. I think it wasn't until I was in my 20s where like I realized something was off. Growing up, especially like your teenage hormones and everything, I think everyone in my family, including I, just thought, oh, like she's just a little more emotional than other teens, and kind of like swept it under the rug. I swept it under the rug for so long, but obvious signs were there. I feel extremely like deeply. I tell people a lot, if you think about like when you've lost someone like seriously, or if you've like gotten your heart broken and there's that like it's just gut wrenching, and I will get that feeling sometimes for a moment and sometimes it could last all day, but there's no reason for that feeling. It's just there. And I knew, that's when I knew, I said, this isn't right. Like, even though I feel these crazy highs, like I'm like very happy and energetic and I can get a lot done, the lows go just as low. And so I knew, getting on like medicine, first off, the trials for it is crazy, but I knew that it would help me stay balanced in the middle there. And I was like, I was willing to kind of lose my I don't want to say sparkle, but like that, like that, just like that high energy, if it meant I didn't have to like feel so low. And it's still a battle. And I'm 30. I'm still trying to figure things out. But yeah, that's kind of how I went down that path of figuring out that this is what I have. It's not just a battle even in my 30s dealing with it, because every day is a new day. It's still like I'm still exploring it. And it took me a while to realize, okay, like something might be a little more wrong. Not like it's wrong to feel deeply, but sometimes it gets tiring. But I like to be open about it. I actually, I get different inputs on it. I've gotten people who are like, you shouldn't share, like it's a little much, like you're telling everyone this. And then I have others that say, this, you being open and raw and honest about this, like makes me feel normal. And that's kind of my goal. I don't mind sharing my personal information, because I know that like I forever was like, everyone on social media, no one's upset. Like, why am I crying every day? And I have no one else to like, no one else is expressing this kind of emotion. Am I alone in this? So I just am open about it. Like, you could scroll all the way back to the very beginning of me posting, like, I'm sad girl for life.
Mm-hmm.
But I do try to make it in a way where it's like we're talking like it's okay to feel your feelings, accept it, bring it in, like let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's mental health awareness for men. It's their month.
Yeah.
And I've got a bunch of male followers, and they even open up to me too about their stuff. So, I hope it's just helping being open about that. That's kind of like one of my main things I try to talk about.
Yeah. I that's one reason I started this whole podcast, is because everybody is struggling through something. And if somebody telling their story helps somebody else feel just a little bit better about who they are, like what they're dealing with, then great. Because I know there were many times in my life where I'm like, especially before social media, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And social, like, that's why I think a lot of people are like, oh, social media, you compare this, you compare that. But there's also really great things from social media, like the podcasts, all this. There's so many avenues where you can feel support. There's groups where you can feel support. I don't know. Social media for life. I think it's great.
Yeah. I feel like we've probably just barely tipped the iceberg of it too.
Right?
Like,
really?
if you're looking from, like, say we're 30 now and we're making it to 70, that's 40 years of advancements.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Just in general, everything.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, like we're like 90s babies. So
Yes.
like, like we've seen it, how crazy even technology in general has changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Back when like CDs were actually CDs.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, I have a funny story about this. When my husband and I got married, I had found this suitcase, and it was like decoupaged with fabric. And I thought it was the cutest thing. And it has moved place to place with us. I think we've moved like 4, maybe 5 times. Anyway, it has moved place to place. And we moved into this apartment 4 years ago. And that suitcase got put like on top of a cabinet. And
Wow.
so we are like spring cleaning and whatnot. And I pull this suitcase down, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what's in here. It was DVD. It was DVDs. DVDs have been in this suitcase for years.
Do you have any VHS tapes?
I don't here.
No? Okay.
I know my dad has some at his house, but no.
Yes. Yeah, VHS and DVDs are, and Blockbuster. Oh my God. Oh, I miss a Blockbuster. That was like, it's an experience. Like, Netflix has nothing on Blockbuster.
Yeah. Going like to the store, like walking up and down the aisles.
And the snacks. Oh, you get everything you need there.
I rented John Tucker Must Die. from like Blockbuster, and I thought it was the coolest thing.
It is. Me and my best friend, we would all like, middle school, there was a Blockbuster right down the street from her house. And her parents would just let us, we'd walk there, we get a movie, snacks, walk back. That was like our every Friday night. Like that's what you did, in the early 2000s.
There's got to be a way where Blockbuster comes back.
Yeah, I think there's still one store. Maybe we'll find it and we'll take a trip.
But it's got to come back like digitally somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know.
Right.
Yes, dear one Blockbuster.
I love it.
Oh, all right. Would you like to get into some rapid fire questions?
Yeah, okay, let's do it. I'm ready.
Okay. So it'll be first thing that comes to mind.
Okay. Woo, I'm nervous. I have a really weird mind.
How much protein do you eat?
180 grams.
All right. What is your favorite lift or exercise?
Bicep curls.
Yeah. What is your least favorite lift or exercise?
Anything with my glutes.
So
like
now,
leg day in general, but glutes specifically. So like hip thrusts probably.
yeah. Okay, when you look in the mirror, what is your favorite muscle on you?
My calves.
Really?
Yeah.
I have like no calves.
I like my cat. I think it's like the only thing that's like super like ridiculously big. The rest is like average. But I'm like, yeah, these calves, and I don't train calves like at all. They're just like there. So I'm like, thank you.
Do you jump rope or anything like that?
No, I don't.
No.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's from like the years of volleyball and how much I jumped. So it's like muscle that just built up over time.
Yeah.
I do like my shoulders though sometimes. Sometimes I kind of like how body dysmorphia is.
Yeah. What is something you eat or drink every single day?
Coffee.
Yeah, me too.
Every day I have a bad habit of eating a pastry I swear every day. I ate a cookie today. Like I have gone months where I eat a donut every day. It's I really like them. So
Hey, at least you know how to balance it. It's
right,
like,
yes.
I'm just gonna eat
exactly.
this cookie. What is something you do intentionally every day?
I call my mom every day.
Really?
Yeah, I make sure to talk to my mommy every day. I love my
Aw,
mom. Yeah.
that's such a good one.
Yeah.
That's like my hope as a parent is like my child calls me.
It was rough in high school. She was like, oh, this is questionable, this girl.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah, no, I agree. I hope my kids love me as much as I love my mom.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Do you read or listen to audiobooks?
I read, but like not books for fun anymore. I read a lot for my career.
So sciencey based
Yeah,
books?
like manuals. I'll read a lot of scholarly articles that get published about work. I'm always just trying to like be better at my craft, so I just soak up that knowledge. I read other people's reports that work for the company. So yeah, that's kind of reading I'm doing. I get you have to like get different certifications and stuff. So I'm always studying for that. So that's my reading.
Yeah. Do you listen to podcasts?
I used to. Leo Skeppy was like my god at one point. He's the reason why I got into doing anything with my life. I was like, when I was so depressed living at home with my parents, I would just listen to his podcast. And he's got a tough love, which is something I need. Like, I like that. I know it's not for everyone, but I want someone to call me out for being like, lazy or whatever I am being. And that's his style. So yeah, that was what I listened to.
Yeah. Okay. What time do you wake up in the mornings?
4 a.m.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes 3:30. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Early morning girlies.
Yes, I love a good morning.
Yes.
What time do you go to bed?
I try to be in bed by like 9 o'clock, but that's sometimes just absolutely impossible. With me traveling for work so much sometimes, and I really, if I want to make sure I'm at the gym, and then you got to eat, and I have a dog, so I try 9. It's
Yeah.
not always happening.
Yeah. Do you have to be at work early?
Yeah, I wake up at 4 for work.
Yeah.
I'm typically, because I'll be like, today I was in New Jersey. I needed to be there at 7 in the morning, and it was a 2.5 hour drive. So
Ooh.
that's kind of why I wake up so early. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you take pre-workout?
I used to. And then I actually was an ambassador for Bucked Up, but I it it's just so triggering for my anxiety. And I was like, I need to, because it's a lot of caffeine in a small
Yeah.
amount of drink. So I switched over to coffee, just black coffee. Uh, and that's like, I think it's 3 times as less amount of caffeine, but it was enough to just get me to be awake. But yeah, no, that's all I do now.
Yeah. Okay. If you had your own gym, what is your number one must-have? What is the one thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I need this in a gym?
Pull-up bar. And
Yeah.
I don't even like doing pull-ups, but I love the calisthenics work. So I would do a pull-up bar just because I'm a big fan of like monkeying around. I think it's fun.
Yeah, you hang by your feet.
Yes, yeah. My special move, my I want to be Spider-Man move. I have massive feet. I've got like almost size 12 female like
Uh-huh.
walking feet. And I don't know why. I just thought it was normal. I thought I was like anyone could do this. And people were
Yeah.
like, what is wrong with you? And I think it's just because my feet are so big, like I can just grip on. I don't know. I'm part
Does
monkey.
it hurt the tops of your feet?
Yeah, there's sometimes where if I hang for too long, the top of my feet will get bruised.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I've never really it's like eh.
Yeah.
What's a little pain,
Do
you
you do
know?
it? Do you do it every day?
Um yeah, I mean maybe not hang every day on my
Yeah.
feet, but like I definitely try and do muscle ups or the skin of the cat, anything calisthenic wise that I can just practice. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's a good workout. You're like, am I even doing anything? But you are. So
Yeah. I hang from a bar every day. I make it a point to just like grab it and hang. It feels so good on your spine.
grip strength, and it's great for your forearms.
Yeah. Okay. If you could give anybody honorable mention, who would you give honorable mention to and why?
I would give honorable mention. This can be anyone in my life. Like,
Anybody in your life? It could even be a stranger.
okay. I would say honorable mention to my friend Jacob Hernandez. He is my first friend that I really met in like the gym community here
Mhm.
in Baltimore. And he introduced me to a lot of people and kind of got me comfortable to go to the gym. So I appreciate him. So he was a big help in a recent transformation of my life. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is something that you have done that you are most proud of?
um, hmm. I would say when I got my scholarship, that was probably my first biggest achievement, I'd say, in my life that I was proud of myself. And then any of my degrees, when I walked the stage, I was very, very proud of myself for that
Yeah.
because it was miserable doing it. But those are probably, yeah.
Yeah. What is your biggest struggle
Hmm.
right now?
My mental health, as always, it really is. I recently just doing another switch on medicines, and it's always kind of a weird process. um and that's my biggest thing. That's because my brain is like stopping me from doing things that I really need to do or want to do. So yeah, I'd say myself is
Yeah. Well, good news is that you got
yeah,
like
I'm doing well.
you've got 70 more years of this.
Exactly. It's a learning curve. So it's just uphill from here, right?
Yeah. If you had an extra 60 minutes in your day, how would you use it?
What would I do? Like a moment in like nature. I love just being outside. If I could just have an hour that where I wasn't needing to do anything to fit in, I would just sit outside and honestly just stare at like the trees.
Yeah. Something about fresh air.
Right? Oh,
Yeah.
it's yeah. I think it's like necessary, honestly. Like
Is
for just
it pretty stuffy in Baltimore? Like in the city?
yeah, Baltimore's weird. It's like one street can be gorgeous and then you can turn the corner. I mean, I know a lot of cities are like that. It's just really intense here. So I don't really like wander about the city.
I was about to say that's not your outdoor scenery.
No. I mean, when I walk Cookie, my dog, I will, I have no option. I try to go, certain ways that are more green. But yeah, if I'm gonna go outside, I'll like drive outside of the city. And there's a couple hiking spots around here. They're just not very, high.
Yeah. Okay, if you could give your best life advice to anybody listening, what advice would you give?
I would say, oh my goodness.
Oh, you're gonna die.
National weather. I see we've been having bad weather all day. It was a tornado warning. We're good.
Oh.
My advice would be to not be scared of going outside of your comfort zone. I think, like, personally, I stayed somewhere for so long just because it felt comfortable, and comfortable feels a lot easier, but going the easy route is never going to be very fulfilling in the end. So I would say, what's to lose? Go outside of your comfort zone. Like, if you have the opportunity to do a new job or move somewhere, to just take a leap of faith and like do it, because you can always go back. Like, you can always move backwards. Like, if you really wanted to, if you're very uncomfortable with where you moved forward, you could. But like, if you never take that jump, then you don't really know. That would be my advice.
Yeah, that's good advice. All right. Do you have any stories, any last questions, anything else you would like to say?
Gosh, I don't know. Other than just being so appreciative of our friendship, getting to meet you. That is amazing. If anyone's listening, I guess, to this and they're just starting their working out, have so much fun because you have so much ahead of you. You're going to meet so many people. And I don't know, that excites me for people that are getting into that, So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. I do want to keep in connection with you. I feel like I could just call you now and be like, hey.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. Like, honestly, and if I come to Texas, I'm gonna come see you. I don't care how far. I'll drive the 7 hours.
I'll meet you halfway.
Okay.
We'll meet halfway. It could be a dirt road, but I will meet you halfway.
Okay, good.
All right. Don't hang up yet. I am going to close this out and then we'll take a boogering.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening to Shelbie's episode. Make sure you download, like, and subscribe. And you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Have a beautiful day, friends. Bye.